welcome to the So-Gel Nails education series. Today we're going to be showing you how to apply glitter toes. But before we do, I want to make sure that you understand the materials you're going to need for this application. You're going to need your nail cleanse. This is going to be used to clean off the nail plate and to make sure you have a clean area to start with. You'll also need your lint-free wipes. These will be used with the nail cleanse to make sure the nail surface is clean. You'll need your Pusher Plus. This is going to be used to push back the cuticles to expose as much of the nail plate as possible for the nail service. You'll also need your Dual Pusher. This is used to clean up the tracheum and to make sure if you end up with any gel in the cuticle that it's cleaned up and removed so that you do not have lifting problems. You'll need a nail file and a file saver. With our product, there's not a lot of filing that has to be done, but you do have to do some filing, and so you're going to want to make sure that you have your file available. Your nail brush, this is going to be used to clean up once you've finished filing the nail. And your dome duster, this is used to clean off the hand and to make sure your work area is clean. You'll also need your sterile cotton applicators. These are going to be used with the nail cleanse and the protein primer to make sure that you do not cross-contaminate your product. You'll need your protein primer. This is going to be used to get the base gel to stick to the natural nail. Protein primer is a very critical part of the So-Gel nail system. You'll need your gel brush. This will be used to spread out the gel on the toenail to make sure that you get a nice, smooth, beautiful surface. You'll need your base gel. This is the first application of gel that you're going to put on your client's nail. And then you're going to want either a 6-watt or a 9-watt UV lamp. This is the only time that we recommend you actually use a higher than 6-watt lamp. The reason is toes are not as sensitive, so you can use a 9-watt lamp if you'd like. If all you have available is your 6-watt lamp, go ahead and use it. It's going to work just fine. You'll also need your clear builder finish. This is going to be used as your top coat to finish off the nail application. You'll need glitter for the glitter toes, and then you'll also need to have cuticle oil. You're going to dehydrate the nail area with the nail cleanse, and so when you're finished with the application, you want to make sure that it gets rehydrated, and our cuticle oils are a great way to do that. Now that you know the materials that you're going to need for this application, let me walk you back through preparing the nail. It's a little bit different for toes than fingers, and so we want to make sure that you follow the processes correctly so that you get a great product in the end. You're going to start, as you do with any application that you do with our product, by taking a small amount of nail cleanse using a lint-free wipe. You'll dampen it. You don't want to have it dripping. And then you'll use that to wipe each toe from the cuticle forward to sanitize and dehydrate the nail plate, cuticle, and sidewalls. Once you've finished doing this, you'll use your Dual Pusher and the Pusher Plus to push back the cuticles and clean off any extra cuticle growth or tracheum. Very important that you have as much of the nail plate exposed as possible. Once you've done this, you'll use the 100 grit file and the file saver to take the shine off the nail plate, and you'll do this by cross-hatching the nail plate. You do not want to press too hard here, because if you do, you're going to file off too much of the nail plate and it's going to actually damage your client's nails. The So-Gel nail system does not require excessive filing. You need only remove the shine from the nail plate, nothing more. Once you've got that done, you'll use your nail brush to clean off the nail plate and sides. You want to make sure you have the shine off the sides of each toenail. If you don't, you want to gently file those places again that you've missed and brush off the nail plate and sidewalls again. Once you finish this, you'll use your dome duster to brush off your client's foot and to clean the nail dust from the area. Now that you've got everything filed and the area prepped, you'll use a small amount of nail cleanse again with either your cotton applicator or a lint-free wipe to cleanse each nail again. You do not need to be afraid of getting the nail cleanse on the cuticle and sidewalls of the nail. You will rehydrate the cuticle and skin on the sidewalls of the nail with the cuticle oil at the end of the nail service. Now that you've got the nail prepped, it's time to apply the protein primer. You'll do this by using a cotton applicator. Now be aware you never want to apply our protein primer with a brush. The reason for this is if you do, not only will it could cause some problems with your brush, but it's also going to cause contamination with the product. You'll apply 2 heavy coats of protein primer to each toenail. Make sure that you apply the protein primer to the free edges so that the overlay will wrap around the free edge of the nail and bond to the entire nail. Once you've done this, it's important that you wait at least 60 seconds for the protein primer to seek out the keratin and the amino acid in the nail plate. This is going to begin the bonding process that needs to happen before you apply the gel. You need to make sure that you dip each swab for each nail. Again, don't be afraid to get too much product onto the nail. You want to make sure that each nail looks wet and shiny. You also do not want to be afraid to get protein primer on the cuticle and skin. Our protein primer will not burn or harm your client's skin because it contains no acid. Any extra protein primer that's left on the toe can easily be wiped off with nail cleanse at the end of the nail service before you rehydrate the cuticle and the skin with the cuticle oil. Now you've got the protein primer applied, it's time to apply the base gel. Now be aware here, this is one time that you also can switch up. If the base gel, you find that it's too runny, that you're having a problem with the toes, you can use the Builder Finish Gel here for this application. But I'm going to walk through, talk about applying the base gel, but be aware again, if it's too runny, the Builder's a little thicker and you can use it here. You want to apply a thin line of base gel down the center of each nail, and then you'll use your gel brush to smooth out the base onto the nail plate, keeping the product about 1/64 of an inch away from the cuticle. The base should appear smooth like glass without any bubbles in the gel. If there are bubbles, you want to make sure that you get those cleaned out. If it has a grainy appearance, you need to apply a little more base gel and smooth it out again. You want to make sure you wrap the base around the free edge of the nail and that you keep the gel off the skin and cuticle as much as possible. If you do end up with base in the cuticle, you'll need to use the square end of your dual pusher to make a free margin between the product and the skin. This will keep the gel from lifting off the nail after it's cured. Now it's time to sprinkle the glitter onto each toe. You'll do this by tapping the glitter very lightly to make sure the glitter begins to settle in the gel, and then you'll turn your client's foot onto its side and tap the bottom of the foot to remove any excess glitter. Okay, it's now time to cure the base gel. Right here, I'd like to remind you of our heat spike warning. Remember that all of our gels cure with only a 6 or 9 watt UV lamp. If you use a lamp that's a higher wattage than this, your clients are going to get burned with our product. Also be aware that when doing toes, you should not have to do flashing. If you do have a client that's sensitive to the UV lamps, make sure that they put their toes in, pull them back out for a few seconds. But for most of your clients, they'll be able to put their toes underneath the lamp and leave them there for 4 full minutes. Once they've gone through this process of 4 full minutes underneath the lamp, the base will be cured, and then it's time to shape the toenails. With your nail file, you'll shape the top of the free edge of the toenail and then make sure it's smooth. Once you've done that, you'll use your nail brush to clean off the toenail, and now that nail's ready for the top coat or the Builder Finish. Holding the nails at a downward angle, you'll put a line of Builder Finish down the center of the nail, and then you'll apply a small amount on either side of the center line. So there are 3 or 4 thin lines of Builder Finish on the nail plate. Once you've done this, you'll use your gel brush to glide the gel evenly over the toenail. Now you're ready for the final cure. You'll put your client's nails back underneath the UV lamp for 4 full minutes. Once that's completed, you'll pull your client's toenails out from underneath the lamp and file any rough spots that may be remaining on the nails. And then using a lint-free wipe, you'll dampen it with nail cleanse and wipe off any excess primer that may be left on the skin around your client's nails. Once this is done, you'll apply the cuticle oil to rehydrate the nail. This is everything that you need to know in order to apply glitter toes to your clients. If you have any questions, feel free to go to our website, www.sogelnails.com, or reach out to us. We're happy to answer your questions because we want to make sure that you end up with a good finished product.